G'day, guys, and welcome back. As promised, this week we'll be looking at Roger from Mudfossil University again. He seems to have made a video saying something about NASA warning people against him. It should be interesting, at the very least. It will be highly entertaining. I will try to be fair, give Roger the benefit of the doubt, and keep assuming he's trolling and just hoping that he isn't completely off the rails, which seems to be the case. So, sit back and enjoy. So, as you can see from this title, NASA warns about Roger and false mud. This is really hard to say. This is like the fourth time I've tried to say it. False Mars mud fossils. But it is false scientists at NASA in denial. Now, I don't wish to question any of the credentials of the people at NASA, but I'm pretty sure that the scientists at NASA are actual scientists. I don't want to question the credentials of Roger, but I'm pretty sure Roger is a troll. I hope Roger is a troll, because if not, this is just sad. Now, I doubt I'll get through all of this video because, look, it's 35 minutes. We'll see how far we get and take it from there. Let's begin.
Okay, my friends, Roger, Mudfossil University, it has started. I have been talking about Mars for years.
I don't recall him ever talking about Mars, but he is definitely from Mudfossil University, and we always love the screen. Good to see you on camera for once, Russell. Russell. Why do I keep calling you Russell? It's Roger. I'm really sorry, Roger. I don't mean to call you Russell. That's a horrible name. Nobody should be named Russell. And now Russell Crowe's going to come and beat me up. Oh well.
Since Curiosity at 2011. Now they're back up there and they're saying, watch out, warn against false fossils presented on Mars. They say, oh, there are going to be a ton of them that look like fossils. They're not really fossils. Well, let's talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about that. They're going to look like fossils, or what you perceive to be fossils, but they're not. They're rocks. Mars is incapable of supporting life. It has been incapable of supporting life for several billion years. Maybe once it did support single-celled organisms, but no, life couldn't have evolved on Mars. I'm sorry, it's just not possible.
Before we get started, I just got to make you aware. I go way back on this. I got 3,260 papers mention my name.
Yes, they mention your name, but how many of them are in good favor? How many of them spur your accolades? Say what a wonderful scientist you are. That would be zero.
143 highly cited papers. I don't know what they're saying about me.
Oh, I guarantee you it's not nice things. Please, Roger, for your own mental health, do not look up these papers. They are not saying nice things at all. Or maybe there's another scientist out there called Roger Spurr. I don't know. I haven't looked up because let's be fair. I don't care. I really don't care. But it is fun to think that they're talking about you.
But I am in this arena. I'm not completely outside of it. It's just that they have put me outside of it because I don't say the things they want me to say. So I really have stopped making academic papers. But they once they get you in that system, they follow you and they just tell you what people are saying about you.
Well, because you kept rambling, I want to stop there and get this train of thought out about you being in the same arena as these scientists. If you think back in the day, the Romans put Christians in the same arena as lions. That was interesting. So it's not always a good thing to be in the same arena.
I don't subscribe to this. They just sent it out to me. I haven't paid a penny to them or anything. It's not like I'm trying to follow this. And I've never seen what anybody really says about me, but I know I'm getting talked about a lot in places where they can speak. But in the big universities, they refuse to speak because they can't speak.
What are they going to speak about? That you have a collection of rocks? They're not fossils, they're rocks. There's a big difference between a fossil and a rock. They're both minerals, but one is a rock, the other is the remnants of a once living creature that has over time turned to stone. Well, not exactly stone, but it's complicated. But let us continue. I really hope you bring up DNA.
Once they do, they're in a lot of trouble, actually, to be perfectly honest with you. Well, once they're to get out of that realm of their status. Now, what are we looking up here? That is literally a rock on Earth here that has blood coming out of it.
No, it really isn't. I hate to use this old saying, but you can't get blood out of a stone. They don't have blood. They're not biological. They're rocks.
Leaked all out, and it's really crystallized now. It's a solid rock. Now, let me show you some other things that have blood coming out of them.
Okay.
All right, so you can see the microscopic shot of the artery and, the red blood and so forth. Now, what we're going to do is look at this down here. This is really cool. Now, we're going to be looking at interstitium, which is the fleshy sort of flexible part right underneath your skin and underneath the coating on your organs and all that, so that you can move around and everything gets settled back in its place. And there's these balls and anchors and tendon, collagen fibers.
Okay, you could just said the squishy bits. See how much quicker and easy that was. The squishy bits. But okay, rocks do not have squishy bits. They never have, and they never will, unless they're molten rocks. Then they're very squishy, and you can't touch them or drink them. Oh, you can drink lava, but only once.
Loose connective tissue primarily. Now, what we're going to do is, hold on one second.
Oh.
Hello, my outstanding friends. One of my favorite things to do is a microscope. What are we looking at here? That is an artery.
No, it's not. It is a hole in the crystalline formation of the interior of this rock. Now, if I could be bothered, I'd actually look up what type of rock this is and tell you, but I can't be bothered because you're not going to see this video. And the people watching, they don't want to hear about what sort of rock that is. They're not geologists. They don't care. Most of them just are here for shits and giggles. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. What? No, you can't have any. It's mine. Let's move on.
Arteries blow their blood out because there's no clamps in them. That's the vein side. A lot of times they'll run right next to each other. And the vein brings the dark blood, the black, it turns black primarily in mud fossils.
Mud fossils have blood. Okay, so these rock fossils that you claim have blood, but actual fossils, which are the remains of a biological, once living creature, do not have blood. Now, do you see the problem? Yeah, that's right. One is a rock, the other is a fossil. Neither of them have blood. It's that simple.
It brings it back up to the heart and the lungs and so forth to get reoxygenated. Then it comes back down as arterial blood with the extra oxygen and makes it red. That's the difference. Now, the veins also have what they call is valves, vein valves, which means it can come this way up to the heart, but it cannot go backwards. It's already used up.
Um, no, that is incredibly incorrect. The heart itself is the valve. It pumps the blood around the body. It pushes it. It doesn't. It, it only flows one direction. It doesn't. It doesn't flow in both directions. It flows one way. It comes out of the heart, goes around through the organs, cleans them all out, supplies oxygen and all other shit to your body, and then it comes back into the heart after going through the cleansing process of going through your liver and your intestines and all the other fun, yummy stuff. And they branch off and it gets complicated, and then once it's depleted, it then does the return journey through everything, through the veins, back into your heart. But as it's coming back, it goes through your, I think, goes through the kidneys and the spleen. That's the one. And most of your internal organs it goes through, dumping all of the dead cells, all of the nasty things that's picked up along the way, and then it goes back into the heart where it gets pushed back out, goes through your lungs, gets replenished with the oxygen, and the cycle continues. That's why when you crap, it is mostly blood. That's why it's that colour, because it is dead blood cells. I say mostly crap, like mostly blood, but yeah, it's also food you've eaten, things like that, of course. You know this. You know this. Why am I telling you? Okay, moving on.
This has no restriction. Go this way, go that way. Now, I'm going to show you something on Mars that they are going to. I'm going to show you stuff on Mars that goes back to the first Mars mission. And we're going to get in deep, and they're going to say, "Oh no, 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 that can't be." Well, yes, it is, and I'm sorry for the new evidence that I have presented because it's been dismissed and very a little bit pushed under the table. I've been pretty much isolated.
That's because your claims are outlandish, wild, and highly inaccurate and incredibly incorrect. I don't think I can fit any more alliteration into that sentence. But let's see what you got. Let's see this evidence, these fossils that you can see on Mars. That you're looking at a 2D representation of a 3D structure. So let's see what you can glean from that.
So it's time for everybody to stand up and say, "Look, it's time to look at this in reality. We can't just walk around in circles because it's uncomfortable, because it is, it's uncomfortable." Okay, my friends, we're going to talk about NASA and JPL and Caltech and all these people that are making these claims. Don't look at the fossils. There's no fossils out here.
That's not a claim. It's a fact. I don't think you know what a fossil is. And my God, man, how many tabs do you have open at once? Your poor RAM. Anyway, that's an insane amount of tabs. YouTube, Wikipedia, Google. He's got to be hiding the Pornhub ones. You know he's got them open. But anyway, let's continue.
Well, let's look at what happened when they went up in 2011. I just showed you this artery right here.
Oh, Again with this bullshit artery. I thought you said you were going back to the first mission on Mars. That was like, was it Pioneer 1? Maybe even earlier. Anyway, that doesn't really matter.
Leaking blood out of it and the vein right next to it. Now let me show you what is on Earth and the gigantic creatures that were here. I am very sorry to tell you it is just a fact that everything there is biology, and some of it is absolutely gigantic.
I'm very sorry, Roger. You're just wrong. The the size of the creatures you talk about, continent spanning creatures, couldn't possibly exist on this planet. The largest organism on Earth is a fungus, and it's only considered the largest because it is made up of tiny parts, and those tiny parts cover a large landmass. But there's no way any biological creature with the mass you're talking about could possibly live on this planet, could possibly move. It simply wouldn't have enough to eat, to get the energy to eat some more. It's just impossible.
Okay, I think I decided to take a new route today. I'm going to not do all my. I was going to get real deep into it, but what I'm going to do is, if you can't.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Look, I didn't skip anything there. This, you're seeing this live. Well, not live, but recorded. But you're seeing me record this live. And he just jumped going from talking about something on Mars to coming back to this squishy bit thing. Look, guys, we love Roger. He's precious. But even I can only take so much. We're only 4 minutes in, nearly 5 minutes in, to a 35-minute video. I can't sit through this. My brain is just gonna melt. So I'm gonna leave it here. One thing I was hoping he would bring up, I will discuss in the outro. That might seem like a long time to me, but to you, it's just gonna be like, I'll see you there. So as I was saying, I was hoping he'd bring up the DNA thing because he often does. He probably did bring it up later in the video. I don't know. I didn't watch the rest of it. I value my sanity too much. But the thing about DNA is it has a half-life of, I think it's either 5,000 years or less. It could be 500. I don't remember off the top of my head. Either way, there is no way you can test for DNA in a rock that you consider a fossil. Now, Roger says that he has had these rocks DNA tested, but he won't show the results of those tests. We can't even DNA test mummies from ancient Egypt because the DNA is degraded too much. Now, how can you DNA test a rock that's supposedly a fossil of a creature that lived 65 million years ago, if not more? Now, the continent-sized creature I was mentioned that he was talking about, that giant creature, there's a ridge line in Africa, just above the Sahara, where if you're familiar with the Reichardt structure, the Eye of the Sahara, that's called, just above there, there's this ridge line. Now he thinks that is the spine of a dragon. This rocky mountain range is the spine of a dragon. Let that sink in. A fucking dragon? Are you kidding me? Anyway, thanks for sticking with me through this, because, well, it was difficult. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, a special thank you to Purple Haze, Caustic, Lisa, and Jez for their support on Patreon, as well as the other Patreon supporters. If you feel the need to support the channel, you can do so by joining Patreon, purchasing merch from Teespring, or simply hitting the like button and leaving a comment. That is the best way to support the channel. Drive up the engagement, something algorithm. You've heard the spiel before from every other YouTuber. So, until next time, friends, don't be a dick.